SpectreVision Radio.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling Podcast. Betsy.
RC.
Oh, boy. I'm excited for our guests coming.
I'm so pumped.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
We see videos, so I'm not going to drag
we got
it
video
out.
Now. There's no surprises or anything.
Surprising. I don't know how to bring someone in the middle of recording. So I'll just introduce him. He's a writer. Actually, I'm going to say Emmy-winning writer, right? Emmy-winning? Yeah. On Good Sports with Kevin Hart and Keaton Thompson. And he also was my coworker on Kevin, streaming on Amazon now. Welcome, John Hume.
Thank you. I want to clarify, it's like a participation Emmy. The Olympics, the entire Olympics as a franchise won an Emmy for outstanding. And so every single person with a producer credit on every Olympic show affiliated with the Olympics that was on Peacock won an Emmy, and I had to buy it. I want to surprise it. Like an email. It was when I was in the Kevin writer's room, an email just popped into my inbox. I was like, did I just win an Emmy? And it's like a link to like, hey, do you want to buy the statue? Yes. Like
I think
smash that.
I helped talk you into buying it, right?
I was like, did I? Yeah.
Yes. I was like, you have to.
Well, congrats. I mean, the Olympics.
Humble giant.
Yeah, the Olympics are huge, and you were a little part of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, the
Big
Olympics
fan.
are huge. John, thank you so much for joining us. Full disclosure, John, one of my favorite coworkers. Even though day one I was like, he's too tall. And
way too tall,
too man looking, but I ended up being like, that's one of my best buddies. So.
Too man looking.
I feel the same way about you, Marcy. I feel the same way about you.
John, thank you so much.
Too manly, too tall. And
too manly,
too
tall. Too manly and too tall. We were just talking about, we worked on Kevin, and I did a show. I don't know if you're plugging your free puppies at the clubhouse, but John does a really fun show in LA.
Yeah. Every third Friday of the month, we improv, stand up. If Betsy, if you ever wanna play a show, it's like, it's Friday night, our friends come out, we give them free booze. So, it's always a good crowd. It's the warmest crowd in Los Angeles. I like to say.
Yeah, that's so nice.
The clubhouse is coming up. Yeah.
It's not just all like, other improv or other, comics waiting for their turn at open mic. It's like normal people, so it's like they laugh.
The clubhouse doesn't
to laugh, like
and the clubhouse doesn't even have bed bugs anymore. Do you remember that? It was like a decade ago. It was a decade ago.
It was so long ago, but I remember that, and it just like,
it happened at UCB New York too, and it was really scary.
That's devastating.
But knock on wood, it was okay. They took care of it. They had them dogs in there sniffing. Anyway, John.
That sounds like such a fun show.
It really was. It was
awesome.
Yeah,
it's hard.
We raised money for a local animal shelter,
that's
so it's like
Santa Dior, right?
Great.
Santa Dior. I don't know if they have any idea who we are, but like every month I'm just like, have some money. Just
that's so
maybe
nice.
I should like put our flyer over there or something. Like get them.
You should go introduce yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I have been in there, and I was like a little shy about it. And I was just, the kiddies are the star of the show. Who am I to be like, no, this is,
Yeah. It is a fun thing about the show, Kevin, is we all are huge animal lovers, like big time.
Yeah.
So John's a cat dad, human dad, and cat dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna start by asking you the question that we ask everyone, which is, what do you believe about the paranormal, if anything?
So I have come around. Um so like for most of my life, up until like up until maybe even like 5 or 6 years ago, I was like pretty like when I was really younger, like Reddit atheist, like kind of cringe. Like in middle school, I was willing
Funny.
to bicker with you about it,
Oh.
and like get into on my
Yes.
and then you grow out of that, and you like I just stopped like thinking about it, stopped considering. So it's like if you really ask me, it's like science and chemistry and what, like I got to be able to see it. It's got to be able to, but um I I would say a big turning point for me in like believing there was like something more is I went and saw the eclipse in 2017.
Where?
The
Cool.
I went up to Idaho.
Okay.
I drove up to Idaho because if you
Cool.
see the map, there's like a line across the country. So, and it
Yeah.
was like a last minute thing. I wasn't thinking about it at all. And then like I was at a party and some friends were like, "Hey, tomorrow morning we're driving 18 hours to go look at the eclipse." And I wasn't working at the time, so I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah,
Yeah, we are.
let's do it."
Cool.
And I had no idea what to expect, but then like you're sitting there, and when it hits, when you're in it like it is a religious experience, and
You were in the
you
path of totality?
you got to get up to the totality. You have to do it, and so much so that the one that came through, I think that was in the beginning of 2024, and
Yes.
it came through Austin, which where I'm from. So
Yes.
we flew home to make sure we saw that one, and it's like if another one passes through the continental United States, I recommend. I think the next one is in like 2027, and the totality is going to cover the pyramids. So that might be the end of the world. An eclipse over the
Oh.
pyramids. That's
What?
um,
I had no
but
idea you were an eclipse head.
Yes.
I didn't either. I had no idea. But if you even like the Reddit atheists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, I fucking love science types. If you get them talking about an eclipse, they'll tell you that it's like it's an incredible coincidence. Like it's an unbelievable thing. This doesn't exist anywhere else in the universe, that we have like this satellite flying around that's like, one, I don't know, 1/100,000th the size of the sun, but it happens to be like the perfect distance away, that it perfectly covers the sun and creates this corona. So that's that's the science of it. So it's like
Yes.
the fact that this happens on the only planet where there's like sentient life that can like look up and see this, like it's too much of a coincidence for me. And so then like
Wow.
once you kind of like open your mind to like what's out there, and then it's like I started like listening to this podcast, and like they were telling a lot of ghost stories. It's like, oh, maybe this thing that every culture on earth has been talking about since the beginning of
Forever.
time,
Yeah.
maybe they weren't all just making it up. Maybe there was
Yeah.
something there. So I become more open. I've definitely,
Cool.
it's real now. I do believe it's real. And because of this, certain experiences I had, I like re-examined. I was like, whoa, that there might have been something going on there, something kind of fucking
That's
crazy
Cool.
so that's
going on there.
incredible. Also, I should warn people, it's not a ghost or anything, a cryptid that you hear. John has a real newborn, a real brand new newborn. So if you
Oh
hear a
no,
baby,
you can hear
just a
that.
little bit,
Yeah,
but sometimes people will hear a
guest
sound and
appearance.
they're like, there was something in the background. I'm like, oh, I burped or something, So
Yeah. Not spooky, it's just burp.
yeah, just a burp. Yeah, maybe it's spooky. I drink Celsius so early in the morning, but that is so interesting to like truly like have like
Yes.
like a natural wonder actually be like there must be more to this.
Yeah,
Yes.
it I mean, yeah, I like wasn't expecting at all. It's like I like I said, I wasn't working. I was in for the hell of it. This will be like a fun little unemployed adventure. Your
Yep.
unemployed friend at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, uh, and uh, and then yeah, it just hits and like. I will give you advice if you ever go to an eclipse and go to the totality, keep your phone in your pocket. Because like instinctively you're like I was like experiencing a cool thing. I have to
Yes.
document this. I have to take a picture. Your phone cannot capture it. Your phone
Yeah.
cannot take a picture of it. I took a bunch of pictures and then I look at them. I was like,
Nothing.
just nothing.
Yeah.
Just like it is just for you.
Leave it
It's
to
not
the
Yes.
for
telescope havers to take those
Yes.
yes.
pictures, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look them up later on the internet.
Honestly,
I
we
feel
should
that
start.
way with just like traveling and like seeing buildings and mountains and stuff, being like, this is so awesome. I'm going to take a picture. And then the picture's just like, this isn't what it looked or felt like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's
It never
so funny.
captures it.
Because,
no.
like, when I travel, I will, like, find myself taking pictures of those things, and, like, I should have taken pictures of the people with me, because that's the memory I'd like to
Yeah.
that's what I'd
Yes.
like to look back on and be like, "Oh, yes, we were all in Florence together," you know?
Right.
Because maybe I don't
I
remember who I went to Florence with.
I guess I'll also say I will be remiss if I didn't also give a shout out to my wife as part of my spiritual awakening. She's
Oh,
she's
Cool.
always been religious, and just like it's not a coincidence that my awakening, it's like, yeah, something happened in 2019. I just started hanging out and like I just figured all this out. It's like crazy.
Yes.
She's like the fact that she's been so open to it and always has been, and she's a very intuitive person. And so yeah, that definitely played a part in me being
Yes.
like, okay, there's something, I'm keeping my mind open.
What were some of the experiences you had before where you started being like, "Oh, maybe this
Okay, so
was something more." I
I have one silly, goofy story. One my
Yes.
true like campfire ghost story that's silly, and then I have a bunch of shit that happened to me that was kind of fucked up for several years. When I was living in this when
Oh,
I was
hell
living in this
yes.
house. So
John!
Yes,
I'll
John,
start.
yes.
Yeah.
I'll start with the fun one.
Yes.
Yes.
So I worked my very first PA job where I met Joe, actually, Joe Wangert, our boss on Kevin. It was at Sunset Gower Studios, which I don't know if y'all have ever worked out of there.
Yeah.
It's an ancient building. It's like more than 100 years old. It was the original Columbia Pictures way back. So it's like a huge part of it, all the stages were probably built in like the 20s or even before. And so as you're walking around, it's like it's very weird where it's like, okay, these were built in the 20s and clearly this like wing was tacked on in the 70s, and like, oh,
Yeah.
the building I'm standing in now is like 5 years old, but it's like you just walk through these continuously, like through one hallway as like a maze, and like you kind of have to know your way around. So place was old. It's also like kind of a funny specific thing. There's only one bathroom per floor, which is like, I feel like, in the 20s, they're like, we don't need a
People weren't
ladies'
taking
room.
shits. They
Yes.
weren't taking
Yeah,
shits back then.
exactly.
Only fellas in the movie studio,
Only
we
Yep. Yep.
um so anyway, it was a night shoot, and I was just the office PA. My job was like to make the coffee and to take the hard drives home from set. So we wrap at like 2-3 in the morning, and my job is I just have to drop the little Pelican case with the hard drive off in the production office, keep it safe. And so I'm like walking through this
They call it the
old
football,
weird.
right?
Yeah, I got the football,
Yeah.
the
Football.
nuclear football, codes, chained to my wrist. So yeah, I'm walking through this like creepy, spooky building at like 3 in the morning, and like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't believe in anything supernatural, so I literally say out loud, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. like the
Yes.
Ghostbusters song.
Yes.
So
But you must have
so
been
I
a little bit if you even said it, right?
right, like I'm
Yeah.
like the sense of energy or the sense of chills, like that was just like I clearly I was picking up on it on a subconscious level, but like I would have never articulated, no, I felt something different, and
Right.
like clearly there was a different energy. Like I was picking that up, but like, on my conscious level, it was like, I want to go home. I'm tired.
Yes. Yep. I'm tired. Let me go home.
So I get to the production office and, unlock it, and it doesn't unlock. The key is stuck. And this is
Oh.
not something that happened before. I mean, like I said, it's an old building or whatever. Keys can get stuck at some time, but it is stuck and it is not budging. And I'm there. I mean, like in my memory, it's like I was there for like 5 minutes. Really, it's probably like
Right.
less than a minute and a half, just because you expect a key opening to literally take a
And
second.
Right.
and
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
makes me panic more than that. Like when you're like,
Yeah.
even if it's like not, there's nothing happening, but like something about a door that always opens, not opening, really
Oh.
makes me go crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, I'm there, I'm jiggling, little north to south, little side to side. It's not budging. So I like take a second, I exhale, and then I say out loud, I am mildly afraid of ghosts. And the door opened instantly.
No.
Literally the next turn, the lock opened and the door
That's so
opened.
fun. Oh my God, that's
So
so funny.
Yeah, the ghosts were
even
like, really? You're not afraid of us? We're going to make you a little bit afraid.
well, I mean, there's stages. It's like, I think this is like where they shot the Three Stooges. It's like, it could be some old
Goofs.
like character actor, some bit
Yep.
player just getting one last one last routine in, one last like, I'm gonna show this
I would
punk
have been a
kid.
good curly. I would have been a good curly.
That's so funny. Just like,
Whoa.
also like, I mean, I haven't been in those studios, but anytime I'm in a sound stage, there's so much, I don't know, maybe it's because it's the extreme darkness
Yeah.
that you have inside of those things. If anyone's ever had a chance to tour them or work on them, like there's a vibe there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, when everything's supposed to be like temporary in and out, the like permanent stuff, I mean, it's like 100-year-old building and nobody bothered to
Yes.
put up like stucco, like it's like chicken wire over insulation, and then you look up and it's like raw 100-year-old wood. Like it feels very like, it feels like, yeah, we'll fix this, we'll patch this up together someday. And they had that conversation 100 years ago. It's like
Yes.
we'll get to that. We'll put it on the to-do list. We got to build sets down here. We
And
gotta
like,
we gotta
Yes.
build.
yeah, like it's always new people moving in and out anyway. So
Yeah.
there's just, and think how many poor tech people like just falling off the rafters there too.
Yeah.
That's, I
High
mean,
high ceilings.
we wouldn't have the unions we have if there
Right.
weren't a ton of tragedies
Because
first.
in
Yeah.
like the 20s and stuff, they're like, I don't know, just climb up there.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have a harness? What's a harness?
What's a
Like, just
harness?
go. Just
Did
pound
we have
cigarettes
did we
and
have
get up.
harnesses in World War One? Like,
Yeah. That's such a cool
Wild.
experience though. And so was that like one of your first like, ooh, maybe there's something here, or
didn't impact me at all. Did
okay.
not like, because
Wow. Yep.
my which is funny to like they, I feel like the atheists would now like not consider, but my belief, it is
Yep.
like a belief and a conviction that there is nothing, like my
Right.
firm belief that, science only, that you have to be able to taste and see it, was so nothing that this experience just completely washed over me. Took it for
Wow. Yep.
granted. I didn't even tell that story. I told that story for the first time like a couple years ago after because somebody was like, I was just sitting around and somebody was like, does anybody have any ghost stories? I was like, I guess I do. Yeah, I do
think
have
I
this
do.
this thing that happened to me once upon a
Awesome.
time.
That's so
I'm
cool.
mildly afraid of ghosts. Okay.
Couldn't give it too much. Couldn't get
Yeah.
I was
Smart.
like, I'm still
Smart.
a big, strong man. I don't
Yeah,
doing
you could
toxic
fight a
masculinity
ghost.
to
Still beat you
ghosts.
up,
Yeah, yeah,
ghost. I could beat up ghosts
yeah.
for sure,
You
dude.
had to respect me. You had
Yes.
to.
Okay, so then you lived in a house that you said you had a lot of experiences as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I lived in this house. I moved in 2015, and I got really lucky. So I lived in this house with four other guys, and it was like, we were all in our 20s, and like an adult frat house, like
Yeah.
10% cleaner than a frat house. And we got really lucky in that our landlord sold the house and paid us to move out, gave us several $1,000s to move out on March 1st, 2020. So barely,
Whoa.
like, if we
Oh
if we had
my
been
God.
stuck in there for that would have been weird. That would have been extra weird. That was a very weird
Fun at
time in
first,
all of our
and
lives.
then a little like, uh-oh.
I don't know where the story's going yet, but I will say that there was a huge uptick in people experiencing paranormal
Oh.
things at home because they were
Yeah.
all home, you
The
know?
ghosts were probably pissed. They were like, "What the hell? I had all day to myself in here, and like now, now we're just watching Tiger King together. This shit sucks. Like, get
Yeah.
get back to work."
Or you know how
Yes.
they say that like spiders learn your routine and so they come out when you're not around?
They do?
That's what I've
I,
heard.
I've
I don't
never
know.
heard that, but okay, yeah, I believe it.
I believe it,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah. So, okay,
so
it's
I was living.
2015.
Yeah, I was living in this house. This happened. Okay, so some background on me. I was living in this house with four other guys. They're friends, and then like over the years, like one at a time, they would move out, and like strangers would move in. So it was basically like an apartment complex. Like by the end, we all very much kept to themselves. They were all cool guys,
Yeah.
so I've been sober for 8 years. Like I quit drinking. So like, and I also, right around the time I did that, I also started like medicating for mental health stuff, that I was going through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Taking
yeah.
care.
Yes.
Um, so, so I wasn't in the best place in my life. Like I was like, obviously I made significant changes to my life. So I wasn't happy where I was at.
Right.
So, but this also means that like, I'm about to tell you, yeah. So when I was like unmedicated for my mental health issues, I was like seeing a lot of stuff. Isn't that isn't that crazy? Is that
You're giving us an out. Yeah.
for the Reddit atheists in there
Yeah.
to
Yes.
dismiss me to I still got you. You're still my people. I don't forget where I came from. Um um but then like also my understanding now is that like when you're going through a bad part, when you're like welcoming dark energy into your life, like
Yeah.
dark things find you, dark energy
Yep.
finds you. So I've even come to most of these experiences I thought were like sleep paralysis. But I don't, and like when you see like memes or like when people talk about sleep paralysis, there was like a lot of overlap, but
Yeah.
I I always knew what was happening. I always like was like, "Ugh, this shit again." I wasn't frozen. I think that's a big part of sleep paralysis. This idea you can't move. Just about every time
Right.
I was like groggy and looking around. So what would happen a lot is I would wake up, or I would be in like that half waking state, and it, it uh when you're in this like half waking state, you can see the light and you see like squares and dark lines, and it's like once you're conscious, you're like, oh, that's my closet.
Yes.
That's a
Yep.
door. You know, that's
Yes.
like the lines, like your conscious mind like interprets light. You know, it's a crazy thing it does. It's but when I would wake up, it's like it would stay in the abstract of light and dark, and like things would fill the space, and the two like visions, the two images I remember most clearly were, one time I saw like squatting on like the foot of my bed, was
Oh
like
no.
like yeah, not the kind of thing you want to see squatting in your bed, like with like purple iridescent skin, like a demon entity shape, kind of like squatting, like it looked
What?
like the Arbiter in Halo, for you know any any, but like an alien demon shape like squatting on the foot of my bed. So that's like a very vivid
Ew.
memory.
Did,
Yeah.
And then
when you saw that, did you what is happening to you though when you see it? Just staying
so
still?
like that's why I say like my background of Reddit atheism and skepticism and not believing in this shit at all, like as it was happening, I would be like, ugh, this shit again. Like I would like be rolling my eyes at it. I would be like this is like, let me just get to sleep. This is
Yep.
annoying to me. And like even at the time I was like, oh, guess this is more fucking sleep paralysis. Guess this is like
Yep.
I'm
Just kind of more
I'm just,
annoyed of it, like.
yeah, which also kind of knowing now, like that is the perfect way to deal with that. Like you're not supposed to give them any energy. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
give them any fear, because like if this, I feel like I don't feel confident being like it was a ghost or it was
Right.
an entity. It was something I brought in, or it was something in the room. I think it was in the room though. That room, like it was always, and these are like subtle things. It was always 10 degrees colder than anywhere
Oh.
else. I mean, but
Yep.
there was like no insulation. It was like it was an old house, and my room was also like tacked onto it clearly at some point, with like plywood with stucco on over the
Yep.
walls, you know, like not any insulation. So, you know, like easy for me to write that off. Like, of course it's cold. There's no insulation. And then like, I never, like my phone service, like I never got phone service in that room. And like just that literally I
Wow.
walk out the door into the living room and it connects. Like these are all things like later I learn, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I did deal with a lot of that bullshit at the
Right.
time. But
Right.
at the time it was just kind of annoying. It's like I just
Yep.
felt like, you know, I'm in my 20s. I'm not where I want to be in my career. I'm drinking too much, and I live in a shitty
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Like it was,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, other things. Yeah.
So then the other very very vivid visual memory I have is like laying in bed and like waking up, being realizing I was in this state, and a pair of doll-sized overalls,
No.
empty overalls, but
No.
like a pair of doll clothes, were like, I'm laying down. They were on my chest, like dangling over my chest, and they were like dancing. They like it was
No.
like being manipulated to dance, just like
John.
What the fuck?
John.
And once again, I was like, are we done here? Can we like,
Wrap
I
it
got a
up.
7 a.m. call time tomorrow.
Yes,
Like,
come
I
on.
don't, who has time for this shit?
What?
That's
I
What the
see,
fuck?
because we say it all the time. Like, if our brain is making this stuff up, why that?
Yeah.
yeah,
What does that
very,
mean to your brain?
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I do have
Whoa.
to give the entity or the ghost props, because it did get me. It did figure out how to freak me out, which was like, I guess it was in the state, but thinking there were spiders in my bed. like
Ooh.
that.
Oh my
What do you
God.
mean? Like,
So it's like I guess I was in that. It was like I thought I was awake, and I feel like a creepy crawly, in my bed and like crawling over, and then I like snap into like actually being awake and like because I fucking hate spiders. That they like that's one that'll get me.
Yep.
So like freaking out, like, and then like realizing that it was the fake thing. Um, that yeah.
Whoa.
So like I said, I could like ignore. I could ignore the horror movie stuff, but
Yes.
the when they really get you on the primal level, that's I couldn't
Whoa.
ignore that.
and it wasn't in. Yeah, go ahead, Betsy.
No, you go, Marcy, and then
I
I'll
was gonna
go.
say, it wasn't in any other parts of the house, just your room that this was happening.
So like this is another thing that like, okay, we moved out of there in 2020. Here we are 6 years later. Another reason I'm like, okay, that I think there was something happening. This didn't follow me. This has never happened to me again. Even the kind of like waking up and being in the abstract space. Another like weird like quirk to that, like waking up and like not processing, is like that bed, like the way my room was laid out, like that bed was in the back. If you're looking into the room, it was like in the back right corner. So it's like there were walls on like this side, back wall and side wall.
Yeah.
And like my childhood bed was in like the same corner of my room. So like many times when I would like wake up and it's like all I see are like figures of light, and like my brain hasn't locked in. It's like, that's your closet. It's like I would be taken back there. It's like I would like, am I in my childhood bed again? And yeah, none of this, like I had zero weird sleep issues
Yep.
before I lived in this room, and zero weird sleep issues after.
Something's in that room.
I've only had one other experience like this outside of that room. And it was in a Motel 6 in Joshua Tree.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so funny. I don't know if you stayed in a Motel 6 lately, but they're like,
No,
kind of nice.
John, I haven't
Are
stayed in
they?
a Motel 6 lately.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
either.
like
I should.
if you just like need a bed in a location for under $100 a night, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's like the Yelpification of even like the shittiest spaces. Like if you go
Yep.
into a shitty casino, it's also like they've upholstered in the last decade,
Yep.
but like the floors are like laminate, millennial gray, and the
Yes.
blankets are like it's not like nice, it's like shitty polyester, but you don't feel like you're staying in scum. You don't feel like you're
Yes. I gotta check one out.
So yeah, this was in like April 2020. So like not that far off. But right when I think it was maybe like the weekend after the NBA
Yes.
canceled their season.
Oh,
So
right.
we all remember that Wednesday. Tom Hanks had it, and the NBA was over, and it's like,
It
oh,
was
this is
where everyone was like, "Oh, is this real?" Like
Yes.
we
Like
knew there
it
was a
started being like,
lockdown, but we're like, "This lockdown's silly, right?" And then we're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, is this gonna get worse?" Tom Hanks
This
has
is
it.
affected.
right.
Yeah. This has affected like 2 billion people. It won't affect me though. Like
Right.
it won't. There's no way it'll get to my life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so then like the next weekend, or maybe it was a week and a half, we were just we were in before we were married, but we were like, let's get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of LA, let's go to Joshua
Yeah.
Tree. Oh, hey, what do you know? Cheap lodging. So in this Motel 6, the same thing happened where I like woke up in an abstract space, and this is not a pleasant one either, but like the space above me floating, I guess like the headboard was like a body, was like a person, was like
Whoa.
Like
that
behind your head or over your person, like
behind, like like and like it was inanimate. So,
Uh-huh.
like, which is creepy in its own way.
Ooh, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm like,
Whoa.
I'm a side sleeper. And so it's like, you kind of look up and it's like this inanimate, like the dark shape that I cannot process as the headboard
Yep.
is processed into my mind as
A body.
a body. And then I like, snap awake. And it's once again, that didn't, I mean, I think this was also, even this was like before I was like, hey, there's,
Yep.
uh, that might be more than just like, my hallucination. And for the record, by this time I was medicating for my mental health issues. So I
Okay.
was only kind of crazy, when that happened.
Well, I
No,
mean, oh, go ahead, Marcy.
no, I'm not. You
Go
go.
ahead.
No, I keep doing it. It's not
Well,
fair.
I was going to just say very quickly we get a lot of stories. We've heard so many stories of this kind of like in between state of being awake and asleep. And it does feel like it's like, oh, that does seem like a good time
Yeah.
for the other world to kind of seep in and be like, hey, what's going on? Here's a body
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's when you're connecting.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, but before your sobriety, did you experience like was there any connection in your house to like the timing of that journey for you?
Um, yeah, or so I would say it was probably like at its worst, before I made the like I it was like mid 2018 that I made this, and so it's like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Also a time, like confession with like the Trump administration. Trump
Mm-hmm.
won, and like it felt like
Yep.
the world was ending. It felt like there was, a lot of dark energy. And I
Yeah.
personally became addicted to reading the New York Times articles and the Mueller report. The Mueller,
Yes.
once that report drops, that's that's gonna save us. But like, kind
Yep.
of not focusing on my life and being healthy, and like instead, uh just not being in a healthy place
Yeah.
mentally
And so
overall. Thinking, yeah.
that was like the uptick for you in experiences then at the same
I
time then.
I think it all kind of like blends together to that time. And like I guess one other thing I that happened in that room that was kind of freaky kind of is like sometimes you like see something out of the corner of your eye.
Yep.
You'd see like, and like I'd like I would see it. I would turn to look, and and I was like, oh, I might be going crazy, or like I might.
Oh,
So at one point
yeah.
I googled like seeing stuff out of the corner of your eye, and Google auto completed it to bipolar, which
Oh,
is was like seeing stuff out of the corner of your eye, bipolar. I was like, oh, great.
oh,
Oh,
So this is normal.
man.
easy peasy. I'm just bipolar. That's
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
I have
did
noticed with longer hair though, sometimes I'll see something and it's just my bang.
Yes,
I'll have that
yes.
happen. So, like, or yeah, like just my hair over
A
here
little
being like,
wisp.
what the fuck? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, it's my hair. It's my hair. Don't worry about it. Did did the other dudes you live with have stuff happen? Like, did you ever talk to them about
N-
the house and
no.
see like, okay, I guess because
Yeah,
you
so
were in
I
a
mean,
pretty vulnerable state where you're like, I'm feeling really weird right now. You probably weren't like, hey,
well, so both at the time I like what, or I mean I was, but consciously I wasn't, and especially not about that. Like
yeah,
I would have been like, you guys aren't gonna believe this crazy shit that it's like,
yeah,
isn't this funny how we're all going insane? But like of course as men, and like I said, like one at a
yeah,
time they would move out. So men that I barely knew, like, no,
yep.
we're not expressing any kind of vulnerability. We're not doing any mental
I
health
wonder if they
check-ins
had
with you.
stuff happen to them
The
too.
one, the the guy who I'm not like super close to the guy who I replaced in the house, but I have thought about messaging him and being like, hey man, did you experience,
Yes.
but I don't know. I haven't talked to him in like 10 years, so it would be a weird reach out, I feel like.
I mean, it's,
Marcy and I are like, I don't know if it'd be that weird.
weirder. It's weirder
But find out.
when an ex reaches out. So it can't be, less weird than that. Yeah. So you said that your wife is more open to this stuff. Has she had any experiences, or like is she just like more intuitive and like a believer?
The latter, definitely. I don't think she's had, I don't think she has any ghost stories. We started dating while I was still living in this house, and I was like telling her I would tell about the stuff that was going on, or
Yes.
like I'd wake up and I'd be like, yeah, I had the weird sleep paralysis. She wasn't happy about that. She it clicked for her immediately that
Yeah.
something was very wrong. So yeah, she was tapped in that way. And then I don't know, she's just like she's just a very intuitive person,
Yeah.
like a couple times I struggle to think of any specific examples, but she'll have dreams, about someone, and then um and then she'll like share something, or like she's like, I had a dream about you that, or something, and it's like, oh, we were apart, and maybe I was feeling like kind of
Yep.
like feeling not in a great place, just like weird stuff. Like I said, I don't remember the specific examples, but like she's pretty tapped in
Yeah.
in an interesting way. Her and her mom too have a very strong connection. uh like I mean, I feel like that's a pretty common, like thinking about someone, they make the call, but like
Yep.
one specific thing is like when we first knew we wanted a kid, and we first started trying to get started working on that.
Having sex
The
when you first started having sex.
Marcy.
We'd
we
never done
waited
it
for 3
before.
years. Yeah.
Married for so long, didn't even kiss.
But like the week after, the first, because it's you try to time it out. The week after that, her friend, who's also very intuitive, has had some spooky experiences, called her or texted her, was like, hey, my mom had a dream that you're pregnant. um
Whoa.
That's cool.
and so we were like absolutely certain, like you have to like wait a
Yep.
couple weeks, but like with this friend's reputation, if she's relaying an intuitive message, we're like, this is real. This is for sure. And like for it to come from her mom, which is like,
Yes.
and so she was not correct. It took like a
Oh.
couple more cycles, but like we were, another, or I guess one other thing that my wife has told me about. Gillian is my wife's name, by the way.
I wasn't sure if you
Gillian,
were sharing.
but so she's been on 2 bachelorette parties now. This has happened twice. Or no, sorry. It's only happened to her once. But a friend at the bachelorette party was talking about a previous bachelorette party. So, her friend, when at a bachelorette party, they were all hanging out in the kitchen. It's like the Saturday morning or whatever, and they're making breakfast, and they crack a bunch of eggs for the breakfast, and a bunch of the eggs have double yolks.
Oh.
Um, and one of her friends was like, oh, this happened to me at the last bachelorette party I was at. Somebody was like, oh, this means somebody in here is pregnant. And it turned out to be right that time. And then when
What?
it happened to my wife, she was pregnant. Like she was standing in the bachelorette party, and like a bunch of the eggs came out in double yolks. And so my friend was like, oh, isn't that crazy? Somebody in here was pregnant, and we had not shared yet. We had not told anybody because it was
Oh
early.
my
And
God.
I don't know about y'all. I've eaten a lot of eggs. I've never cracked open a double yolk.
I've never either. I've had friends, but I've never. To have it happen at a bachelorette party twice is so nuts. That's so weird.
Yes.
And multiple eggs in the dozen.
Multiple.
It does make you think, though. I mean, it's still weird, but to be like, is it one chicken just having a bunch of twins? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, where do you get these eggs from?
What's going on with these like power plant eggs? These chickens that live in a nuclear reactor or something? What's
The
happening?
Monsanto extra, the double yolks. You paid extra.
Wow.
Have you ever heard about like the I feel like I'm not gonna remember which culture exactly. I mean, I know it's in like in Mexican culture especially, where they do like egg rituals on people, like egg cleansings, where they like rub an egg on your head and then all the way down, kind of like clearing your whole body. And then when they crack the egg, you're supposed to crack the egg into, again, we're not doing this, but what I've seen, they will crack an egg into a glass of water. And you're supposed to only look at it from the side. This is TikTok teaching me, guys. Look at it. You don't want to look at it from the top. You want to look at it from the side. And if there's like things coming off of it, it's supposed to be like negative energy that people have put on you. And then like they like basically do all kinds of stuff to like send the energy back or whatever.
Whoa.
I have not heard this. Yeah.
No, me neither.
Just look up egg cleansings. Because like there's a lady on TikTok who will do it. Like she did it to her daughter and she's like, yeah, someone put something on her. And it's like, what? And then you're like, I guess a little kid at school could be like, I hope something bad happens. Like, maybe.
I know.
I was like, why is your kid? She was like, oh, I can feel the energy. That energy's really heavy right here. It's like, your kid's got a stank on it? What's happening there?
Yeah.
But I love watching the
egg
TikToks,
cleansing.
though. Not for us, though. Not for me.
Marcy, I just remembered we have had another supernatural experience thanks to you and your recommendation of a pet psychic.
Oh, yes.
You did it?
Yeah.
Fun.
And I'm like so embarrassed. I was like, I didn't want to so I was in the room, but only Gillian was on the voice call because it's they don't she's able to do the it's a Zoom. Even pet psychics work remote these days, but it was a woman you recommended. I don't remember her name. Maybe you do.
Lily Ludwig. Lily Ludwig. Yeah.
Ludwig. But we had it, so we wanted to connect with our pets. We have two black cats, kind of spooky on their own. LBK and Ladybird, and Gillian was pregnant and the baby was coming, and so we wanted to like give them a heads up that this change was happening in their lives. But we still love them. We wanted to let them know it's going to be okay. So
cute.
I like like I said, I was sitting in the room. I wasn't part of the conversation, but she did know things about them, about their personalities. Like she did guess, for LBK. Well, first LBK, I mean, this is probably pretty easy to get. Short for Little Black Kitty, which is what the name the lady we got him from had like called him as a temporary name, but we were like, this we can't think of him
cute.
any other way. So she's like, she guessed it. she had one try and she did nail it. And she told us he does not claim the mantle of little. He's like, I get that that's my name, but I see him. So we've been trying to like gas him up, be like, you're a big strong panther. You're like,
cute.
This is your territory. You're, we respect your alphaness. For him specifically, she was like, he always likes to move towards the chaos. Like he always like moves towards the stress, which is true. Like when we have like plumbers over doing like big machinery, if somebody comes through to clean, he'll like supervise it. We call him a host. He's a consummate host.
That is so cute.
And then like when our baby's screaming or whatever, she's hungry, he'll like come and like, I don't know if this is a typical male cat's thing to like go into this, steer towards the storm, but she was like, he likes to do this. And once again, she was right.
Yeah.
And he's had an ongoing problem of like peeing on stuff that he's not supposed to. And like, we do all the things, we
Yeah.
change his litter like once a week, fresh litter, and like, urinary food and all that. And it like, so we asked him if he could stop doing stuff that through
Yes.
her. And she said he's like not thrilled about it. He's not happy about it, but it's like, it reminds him of, the first time he had crystals, and like when he did it, it was like such a relief, such a rush. It felt so good that like,
Oh,
he'll
chasing
try
that
not to, but
dragon.
no promises. Yeah. It just feels so
Oh
good.
my
And
God.
he's still chasing that dragon. This is still an ongoing problem. He's just
He's like,
addicted
I'm
to the
so
rush.
sorry. It just,
Yeah.
oh, it
He
feels
does.
so good. That is so funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. And
Oh,
none of that came up for my guys, so it wasn't like this is a canned response. This is
Okay.
right.
Good to
she.
know. Yeah, we got the unique.
Yeah, when I asked about Buster, she was like, he's really in the moment, and I was like, he's dumb.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Dumb.
Yes, he's in the moment. He lives in the moment. He's a goldfish.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully LBK learns how to keep it in his pants.
Yeah, like I said, we gas him up. We try to make him feel big and strong. So
Yes.
Yeah.
just we try to we do what we can to make sure he feels safe and loved. And
Oh,
we cover
That's so
everything. Like
nice.
we cover our bed in a plastic tarp every day. So like this is just our lives. Like
you just do what you got to do. Yeah.
we're meeting him where he is.
That's
We're
good.
not trying to change him.
That's good.
Oh.
Well, John, do you have time to listen to one of our listeners' stories with us?
Yes, please. Yeah, I'd love that.
All right. I'll play it
Fun.
right now then.
Yes.
Hey, Marcy and Betsy. Just wanted to say that I just started listening to your podcast and I love it. I love you, Betsy. I watch you on Ghosts, my dad's favorite show.
Nice.
You got me into it. Anyways, so I have a quick story on my drive home here from work of being a mail carrier in
cool.
North Idaho.
Cool.
I drive around the
Idaho.
mountains all day. Yay.
Cool.
Anyways, so this happened when my oldest son was turning 5, and his little brother was just a baby, not even a year yet, maybe 8 months. We were going to get ready to go to Disneyland, and we lived with my best friend at the time, which she at the time did not believe in ghosts at all. Anyways, she wasn't home this morning. She was at work, and it was just me and the boys. It was probably about 4 in the morning, so it was still dark out. We were getting ready to go to catch our early flight to California, and my oldest son, was in the dining room eating cereal, and I was in the bathroom down the hall getting ready, putting on makeup, and then the baby was sleeping further down at the end of the hallway. So I'm in the bathroom putting on my makeup, and I can hear my son in the dining room eating his cereal, and it was literally dead silent in the house. Neither of us were talking. The only sound you could hear was the spoon on the bowl. And so I'm putting on my mascara, and mind you, dead silent. And all of a sudden, my son screams on the top of his lungs, "Mom, there's a ghost in the kitchen!" Well, actually, I don't think he said ghost. He said there's a little girl in the kitchen.
No.
As I stabbed myself in the eyeball with my mascara, I kind of got mad. And I was like, oh my gosh, Bear, don't do that. You scared the crap out of me. What is going on? What is happening? And I go out there in the dining room as I'm saying this, and he's bawling and says, there's a little girl in the kitchen. And I was like, where? And he's like, over there by the garage door. And mind you, the whole house is dark except for the dining room and the bathroom light. So, and the light switch to the kitchen is all the way on the other side of the kitchen by the garage door. And then across from the garage door is the stairs that go down to the basement where my best friend lives. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go all the way across the kitchen in the dark. So I go across the kitchen, turn the light on, look around the corner. There's nobody there. I look down the stairs. It's all dark because, you know, my friend isn't home. All dark, nothing there. So I turn around. I'm like, there's nobody here. What did she look like? And he's like, it was a little girl like me, and she had long black pigtails and a dress. But he's bawling while he's explaining this. And I was like, okay, well, it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. And so we proceed to finish getting ready and go to Disneyland. So fast forward to coming home from Disneyland, and we get home and my best friend is home, and she goes, so you know how I told you that I don't believe in ghosts? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, I do now. I was like, oh? She said that while we were gone to Disneyland, she was sitting in the living room upstairs watching a movie, which is right next to the dining room and the kitchen. And she was watching a movie, and she looked over, and there was a little girl at the top of the stairs next to the garage door with long black hair and pigtails and a dress. So,
Wow.
hope you guys didn't shit your pants.
Filled.
Wait, there's
And
a lot.
I have
Oh,
another story about the house that I grew up in that was haunted. And it's actually my mom's story, but I'll have to call back and tell you guys that one.
Yes.
Thanks, bye.
yes.
Whoa.
Absolutely tell us that one too. That's so cool for that
I
kid.
got chills. I know that kid's probably like, yeah, fine. Thanks for believing me, please.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
wild. That's our favorite kind of story when like, you know, someone else experiences it with you, even if it's not at the same time, but there's like some
Yes.
collaboration
Yeah.
there, you know.
Yeah. Seeing the same thing. I mean, that's
Yep.
it's real. It's real. You didn't share any information, and these thoughts that are outside of your brain got shared
Oh,
with
Exactly.
each other.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Marcy. Oh, no. Look at these cats.
They're saying hi to each other. They sensed each other.
You.
He's
What is that?
sleeping.
His nose?
It's his foot. He's sleeping on a shelf right above my laptop, and his foot just fell down.
Just went. That is so cute.
And who is that we got there, John?
This is Ladybird.
Ladybird.
Hi,
She's fluffy and
Ladybird.
beautiful.
She's
Look at that.
beautiful.
So feminine.
Oh.
Buster just putting that big foot in front
Just beep. Wow, that was a great story.
Yeah.
Of the specifics of like long black hair and pigtails. It's like,
Which is horrifying.
ew.
Yet the fact that like kids are more connected. I mean, I have to be conscious of
Yes.
this now. Like that
Get ready.
she's, that she's gonna like I hope she doesn't see too much. I hope she's not like talking about all the different people. Maybe she's like, I saw grandma, or like
Yes.
my grandma. Obviously, her grandmas are still with us, but like I
Yes.
saw the sweet old lady. She smiled at me, but
Oh. Yeah, hopefully it's a nice, like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
pleasant
Not like
experience.
you
Uh,
don't
Welcome
need
to
a
life.
weird purple
Yeah, no
alien
s-
thing
no
squatting.
squatting. No, nothing squatting
Yeah.
in the room.
No squatting in the room. Ew.
That's awful.
Not without
Ugh.
paying rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, John,
Whoa.
this has been so awesome to have you. Those
Yeah,
were
thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
And
Such
guys,
great stories. Oof.
go stream Kevin. That way, yeah, we get to work on more. That's what we're looking for.
Yes.
Get some numbers up.
Watch Kevin
Go
on
watch it.
Amazon.
Amazon Prime, baby. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, John.
Thank
Oh
you,
wait, no,
John.
Thank you.
I know what I
Oh,
wanted
wait.
to ask. Tell people
Oh.
where they can find you if you want them to.
Smart.
I write I write for another small Kevin on Prime Video, Good Sports with Kevin Hart and Keenan Thompson. So
Yes.
check out that as well. And yeah, I'm just around LA. I'm a writer. I have a monthly show at the Clubhouse, and yeah, find me. I'm on Instagram at John B. Hume, JohnBHume.
Thank you. That's
Cool.
yes. All right,
Yes.
John. Now we say goodbye.
Now it's time.
Thank you so much
Woo.
for having me.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy, and don't shit your pants.